Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Precious and I'm back again with another video. If it's your first time here, please subscribe, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you see me looking down today, I have notes, so I'll be looking down on my my notebook, so I don't get lost and say things that are not part of the video. Today we're talking all about medicine, from the sleepless nights to preclinical years, to clinical rotations, to major ward rounds, to difficult core days, pressure, humiliation, exhaustion, and eventually becoming a junior doctor. Medicine constantly challenges you, like guys. And somewhere in between all of that, personally, I realized that medicine wasn't just teaching me to treat patients, but it was changing me as a person. So today we're diving deep into being a junior doctor. And yeah, like, medicine begins to change you as a person. I don't know if it's just me. If it's just me, okay, but if you can relate, please leave a comment in the comment section. Yeah, let's get right into this video and talk about medicine. I've only done 2 rotations so far. I had 1 failed one and then 2, so it was practically like 3, but I repeated internal medicine. But I'm here to drop some gems, some things, guys. Me, I learned something, I come and share it on this platform. So let's talk about being a junior doctor. Let's talk about internship. And yeah, so let's get right into the video. So let's spill the tea. Internship was not what I expected. I mean, I prepared myself, like, I tightened my belt when going to internship. I remember the first video I ever did. My first day of internship, the video is here. You guys can go watch it. I'll leave it in the description box below. And I remember taking you guys along the journey. And honestly, I remember talking about imposter syndrome, being nervous. Like, I did not know what to expect. Like, not even a little bit. I was nervous. I was scared. But looking back now, this is a year plus ago, and my first time going in as a junior doctor, I would have never thought that this is what medicine would have done to me as a person. But anyway, let's get right into it. I've got parts. I don't really have titles for my parts, so this is just like this part. I just wanted to talk about how medicine challenges, guys. It challenges you more than you think. If you are a first year, you are in medicine, or you are watching my videos and you're contemplating about studying medicine, one thing I would tell you is that medicine is going to challenge you. Like, just like I said in my previous statement, like, it starts in those preclinical years. You will do sleepless nights, you will not be able to sleep, and from that you move on to your clinical years. Guys, they'll be insulting you on ward rounds. Like, ask these guys what goes on in major ward rounds. Like, you need to have thick skin. Like, medicine is going to make you develop thick skin. And then you come to being an intern. I was talking to a colleague a few days ago. He called me and I was asking him, I was like, because I personally stopped after surgery. He kept going. He did internal medicine, surgery, and then now he's in pediatrics. And pediatrics at the hospital where I am, it's like 6 months, and he's like halfway through. And I was asking him, how is your mental health? Because you literally don't take breaks. He was like, what's that? I don't even think about it anymore. From his response, I could tell that he was not doing fine at all. And medicine will make you develop thick skin. Medicine will make you develop thick skin. Sometimes it comes at a cost. It comes at a cost, emotionally, mentally, like spiritually, physically. It comes at a cost. That thick skin, you will pay something for it. It just doesn't show up. So that's some of the goodies I'm going to be diving in today's video. Personally, for me, like, medicine, I've said this several times already in this video time. I don't know number what, but medicine, like, really, I think, changed me as a person. I remember 5th year, I was doing my PEDS rotation for the first time. It was the first time being in hospital straight from China. I think that was 2021, and I was shadowing an intern, and they were seeing a patient. And I remember I was just standing back. Like, I had a lot going through my mind, imposter syndrome, feeling like I didn't have data. Why was I there? Like, there was a lot going through my mind. And I didn't know, my face was telling a lot of what was going through my mind, that I was nervous. I didn't have the courage for what I was doing. And one of the parents of the children was just like, you look timid. I've paraphrased him, I can't remember what exactly thing, but they're like, what's wrong with you? Like, you look timid. Like, he commented on how I was standing so withdrawn away from, what was going on. I was like, if you shadowed before, you know how it is. I was like at the back of the doctor was shadowing chair, and yeah, I think I was just hugging myself for something. I don't know what I was doing, but I've never forgotten that comment because it got to me. It got to me. I was like, can't I like hide some of these emotions? Why are patients being able to tell that this girl is not as confident as she's supposed to be? Because, girl, I was not as confident as I was supposed to be. He used the word timid on me, and I'm like, but truth be told, like, I was one person I think who didn't have the confidence. Like, a student, when they say come and do this procedure, I was short. I was out of there. I was on my way home. Like, I never really tried procedures. I remember seeing the first pleural tap when I was a student and being like, I don't think I'll ever do that. Forgetting that I am the doctor. I am the one studying the medicine. And that's the kind of a person I was at the beginning of my journey. And like, looking back now, I may not be the most courageous in the room, but one thing about me is I've started pushing myself. Like, I noticed that by my last rotation that I did before I stopped, I would push myself. I remember doing my first pleural tap. It was on a major ward round, and I was like, oh, those are the landmarks? Okay, I would do it. And I was able to do it. And that's one thing about medicine. If you don't try, you will never know. You will go to the hospital, you will observe, you will continue observing, you'll be observing until you can observe no more. But if you never take the step and say, let me do it, you will definitely never know. Medicine is one of the most practical courses out there. I remember even my first jugular line, we were with a senior and we were resuscitating a patient, and he tried going in and doing the jugular line and it wasn't working, and that patient, we could not cannulate them anywhere else or administer the drugs we need to administer anywhere else. I think we need to put a cannula. My senior was like, any of you want to try? And me and my colleague looked at each other because we're like, jugular line. And that was in my surgery rotation. In cardiology, I will tell you that I saw several of those, but the little timid Precious from 5th year was just like, I ain't doing that. And then after I finished my cardiology rotation, I was like, that was the best place to go and learn that, because it was done so many times. I watched seniors do it so many times. I was like, why didn't I encourage myself? Why didn't I push myself out there? And I remember with that day in surgery, I was just like, I will try. And I went in and it was successful. But my colleague never stopped talking about it. I remember the other day again, we had a patient and they were like, guys, this patient is a jugular line. Let's go and see them. Guys, I was just like, I'll do it. And they were like, Precious. And then my colleague goes with me the previous time, was like, she did it once. She now has the courage. She has Vesa Precious, if you understand, Nyanja. But like, that just goes on to say, like, when you try, like, you see that your confidence actually does build up. That's one thing. And that's why I was saying medicine changed me, because 5th year, I was not that person. I will watch from a distance. I will see from a distance. I think things began clicking as an intern now, as a junior doctor. I'm like, this is actually my career. This is me. Like, if I do not learn these skills, one day I'll be somewhere where there'll be no one to do them. So it's better I do them now, supervised, where I can learn under supervision in a safe environment. And next time when I'm alone, these are easy peasy things to do. At some point, I began to realize that it wasn't about the logbook. And I'm not talking about the student logbook. I'm talking about the junior doctor logbook, the intern logbook. It's not just about getting those signatures, done this procedure. It's not even about that. It becomes more about your skill set and developing your skill set. I know some of these things I mentioned, you guys did them in 3rd year and they were easy for you. This is my journey. I'm sharing it and I hope someone is able to relate. I think one of the things I also noticed that medicine did to me, like, I became more brave. And it wasn't only about the word, like, even in person, like, especially after my surgery rotation, because I had time to observe myself in internal medicine. I still was the timid one. Yes, I would learn things, but I would not push myself out there. And surgery, I made a promise to myself. I told myself I'll push myself. I will not be hesitant. If there's an opportunity to do something, I am taking it and I will do it. And no matter how scared I am. And I remember I began to notice that even outside the hospital, like, if something has to be done, I remember telling even my friends and telling the people around me, like, in the hospital, there is nothing like this is too hard. You have to learn. It's supposed to be part of your skill set. So, like, even this, I'm going to try. And I started noticing that even outside the workplace, I started becoming more braver and more daring to do certain things. And that's one of the ways I really noticed that medicine changed me. Yeah, like medicine makes you realize that you're more capable of, like, you're more capable than what you thought. You thought you could do this and you could end there. You're actually way more capable than that. Anyway, moving on to the second part, another way which medicine changed me. Medicine taught me resilience in ways I never imagined. So what actually sparked the idea of this video? The beginning of this week, I was with she was my senior in China, and we were talking, and she was trying to get me to do something that I was very nervous about. And she stopped and said, "Precious, you survived China. You survived the hospital where you did your internship. You can be scared of surviving here." And to her, she just made a statement. That was a deep thought, and that's what inspired this whole video. But that was a deep thought for me. I was like, and it just made me do a quick reflection. Like, I ran back through my 2 rotations or 3 rotations, whichever we want to call it, and I'm just like, wow. Like, but for real, I started looking at the things I faced. I started looking at the days I cried. I mean, there were days I cried myself to sleep because the rotation was hard. There were days I cried myself to sleep because the working environment wasn't as friendly as I thought a working environment was supposed to be. And I think what people don't know is that it's not every environment or every place where you go where the environment is going to be supportive for your training. Some places will be quite hostile, and you have to deal with that. I think it's discussions we don't have, that dealing with people is dealing with people. There are places where you are just trying to survive to the next rotation. And I think that's what taught me resilience. Someone I know who's not even a doctor once told me, she said, "Precious, workplaces are toxic." And the first time she said it was just like, she's just saying that. But few months later, I came back to her and I said, "Girl, what you said?" Girl, what you said. Like, you begin to realize that not every environment is supportive for your learning and your growth, and you have to pick your fights. You have to pick what to focus on, because if you become derailed, some places are actually mentally draining, for the fact that you're going and this is a day where you're spending the whole day. Like, some places are draining, yeah? You find yourself working in environments that challenge you and challenge your emotional resilience. Like, I got this. Do I got this? Do I not got this? But yeah. Anyway, not everybody will cheer you on. It's something you need to navigate. Like, you won't manage going to a hospital, discovering that the environment is not that supportive, and then you're like, "I quit." I mean, you won't manage. Get it from me. You won't manage. There are just places where you have to learn how to navigate with all manner of personalities. Sometimes you're not cheered on even by places where you expect you should be getting cheered on, but you just have to be strong, focus, and know why you are there. That helps a lot. Know why you are there. So I feel like that side of the hospital also changed me. I think I got to deal with different personalities and different people, and I learned so much compared to even my years in medical school. I feel like medical school, as I said, it was a safe little box. Yes, you're getting to know people, but you have your circle. I personally, if you guys have a work circle, quite nice. I personally had, yes, there were different places where I work circles, but different places where I went, I was surrounded by different people. Sometimes, yes, would meet, but people would move on to other rotations. So if you're going to hold on to someone's dress and say, you are my bestie, if you guys haven't agreed to move on together, you'll be finding yourself constantly alone. And that's one thing I did, and I learned 1 or 2 things about environments and unsupportive environments. Anyway, we end there. The next part, let's talk about making mistakes. A few days ago, one of my seniors, a girl from China, posted something on her status, and I related to it, and of course she's a doctor, so it got us talking, and we began talking about how, like, medicine, you will make mistakes. Like, you will find yourself making mistakes, and as much as it's like, some of them, it's painful. I remember one of my seniors telling me that we are doctors, we work with human lives, and sometimes you find that the only way you're going to learn is through a person. That's the only way you're going to learn. Yes, you will learn pathology, yes, you learn physiology, yes, you learn all of that in books, but then there comes a time where you have to apply that knowledge. And as a student, you have very limited ways in which you deal with patients. As a junior doctor, you are primarily the first face the patient sees when they come to the hospital, and through that there's so much to learn, and there are mistakes that will be made. Sometimes you didn't plan. Okay, no one plans mistakes. Sometimes you didn't expect it. Sometimes you don't know how to navigate it. Some mistakes are graver than others. Some is just like, oh, okay, no one was hurt, and some actually ends up in people being hurt. But one thing is that you need to learn how to get back up. It's not the easiest journey, yeah, but you need to learn how to be patient with yourself. You need to learn how to forgive yourself. You need to learn how to stand up, be willing to try again. So, for example, you made a certain mistake in a certain place, whether it's with the patient or without the patient, but you made a mistake. If you beat yourself so much that you're unable to go back, you might never learn that thing. So you have to go back. If you find, whether it's a certain case, you find it again. Sit down, and this time you make the proper decisions. You do the right thing, and that's the way you're going to learn. Like medicine, you need to have grace. You need to give yourself grace. You need to be patient with yourself, because if not, this head they get hot. This yeah. So I don't know if there's anybody out there who's just been going through a hard time. Maybe you made a mistake at work, or life is just, be patient with yourself and give yourself some grace, and take a step at a time. Read, go back to those books, and you become better. One mistake doesn't define you. It doesn't mean you are the worst doctor ever. It doesn't mean that's the end of your career. It just means that you are learning. That's all it means. It doesn't make you the worst person out there. People don't go out there and air out their dirty laundry, yeah? So you will never know, even the person next to you, what they did for them to learn what they learned, yeah? So just keep going. Keep going. I think that's a side of me also that got to change. It breaks a side of you. It takes away some pride. It humbles you. Medicine humbles you. I think that's a perfect way to say it. Let's go to the next part. It's very easy to become detached from yourself, detached from reality, from friends, from family, and to keep going even when you are tired. I think I experienced this several times. The first day you have so much energy. The first day of the rotation, you've got so much energy, like, let's do this. By the time you have reached the last day, it's like you're crawling, like, let me jump. Just imagine someone trying to climb a mountain, like made of stone, with like bleeding fingers, like, let me just reach the top. Like, guys, you learn to smile even when you're not okay inside. Like, I think you begin to master that art. I mean, this is a career where you're having a shift, you lose 2 patients, and you still have so many other patients to care for. So you don't have the luxury of slowing down. You don't have the luxury of taking care of yourself. You don't have the luxury of getting in touch yourself. And, I think I was telling my mom a few months ago, and I was telling her, I said, it has reached a point where I'm not saying I enjoy seeing people in pain, but you kind of get used to people screaming in pain. It's not that you enjoy it. It's just, I don't know how to explain it, because you work in a hospital, you won't manage crying at every bed. Like, this one is in pain, you start crying. This one is in pain, you start crying. Then you lose a patient, you start crying. Like, yes, of course, there are those who it will get to you, those who you took care of a long time and you need to. And then there are those who you were just passing in the ward and you were called, come and resuscitate the patient has changed condition. Or uncle, you don't know that patient. Come and resuscitate. You knew that patient like for 1 minute. If your resuscitation was not successful and the patient is gone. If your resuscitation was successful, you still know that patient for 1 minute and you continue with your life. Like, it's very easy to detach from yourself. It's very easy to lose yourself. It's very easy to just exist. Smile like everything is good, because basically I feel like it's actually part of the job. because I'll never forget seeing my first deaths. I think that day I was a student. I think I was in my 6th year. I was on one call, and I was told, I always tell this story, but I was told to help take care of a patient. I think he had liver cirrhosis, but it was like he was almost gone. He kept having hypoglycemia, so his sugar levels kept dropping. So we kept giving him dextrose, kept giving him like injections. He was on a drip. So my senior told me that it was my job to every 30 minutes check his sugar levels, and I would go and report to her if there was any change, any significant change. And I remember when I was going to report to her, I found her resuscitating a patient who had collapsed, and it was, I think, my first time seeing like the full-blown thing. And I remember watching and seeing them try, and the family was already crying, and just seeing them do that, and then going to try and attend to my next patient, and my other patient also was gone. And that was my first experience, and it was really sad. Like, I just wanted to stop and cry, but I couldn't because medicine doesn't give you that luxury. It doesn't give you the luxury to stop and take care of yourself and check how good you are. No, it does not. You have to get back up. You have to keep going. The next day you have more patients who are waiting for you. It makes you learn to keep going even when you're exhausted, even when you don't want to. I remember surgery calls which were 24 hours. It was my first time, because internal medicine, our calls were like 6 hours. Is it 6 hours or 12 hours? I've forgotten. But surgery was 24 hours. I remember in the morning, by the time we had to go for the morning round, the post-call round, my brain would be screaming to go to sleep, especially if that night was hectic, we didn't sleep, and you were still seeing patients the whole night, and then on top of that, you now have to do a round, and you're still expected to take care of your patients on the ward. My mind would scream like I can't explain how much I just want to give up on my body, but it's like you can't. You just have to keep going. And I remember I ended up just saying, guys, I'll be manning the casualty area when you guys go on. And it became a thing, precious to remain in casualty. I would always remain in casualty, because for me, I wasn't able to handle those morning calls. But if there was no such a thing, I would have to push my body every single day. So medicine makes you push yourself further than you ever want. If you're doing your internship, doing your rotation, and it just feels like find something that keeps you grounded. Like, find something that keeps you grounded, that keeps you in touch with yourself, even when the road looks cloudy, even when you are overwhelmed with work. Find that something that keeps you feeling the ground. Like, don't fly too high. Something that brings you back to the ground. Yeah. And normalize the life outside medicine. Normalize finding life outside medicine. Go and do something, like, in your spare time. Don't just sleep. Go and connect to those friends, because by the time you realize it, you don't have even any friends. Go and connect. Go and hang out. Go and discover new things. What gives you the thrill of life? Go and do it. Is it traveling? Is it exploring? Is it cooking? Do what makes you happy. Yes. And remember, you're not the only one feeling like that. I think Instagram made me really realize that we are a lot of us in this medical career. We're just like, let's survive. In my last rotation especially, I would like to say, I think it was a rotation that I know it might sound very heavy, but I would say that rotation broke me. It was a rotation where I kept going even when I was not okay, just trying to survive. Let's add on volunteering. I've not talked about that a lot before, because I've got a lot of videos if you want to go hear my opinion on that. But like, I was just surviving. Like, let me just get through today. Let me just get through this core day. And I think there were times where I lost myself under the pressure, under the weight, under the expectations, and constantly just trying to survive. I found myself that I would just live in survival mode to the next day, the next shift, the next rotation. And yeah, looking back, this is 2020. I think it will be soon clocking 6 months since I was in the hospital and worked. But I would say that even up to now, I'm still trying to find some parts of myself. I think that's why when my friend said what she said about surviving, I said, made me reflect and say, yo. You just begin to realize that it's not every piece of you that's there, and you begin to realize that this course has changed me. But at the same time, I've also realized that some parts of me have become stronger, some parts have become tender, and some have become more guarded. And some parts I'm still trying to reconnect with, honestly. And the fact that knowing that I have to go back there, I still have 2 rotations to do, and maybe I might even need to repeat all of them depending on the circumstances and what happens. It's a lot to take it, but that's scary. It's just scary. And I don't know, medicine is a bittersweet journey. Internship, being a GRMO, they will tell you, anybody will tell you, being a GRMO, being an intern, it takes a lot out of you. But I'm just here to say you can do it. As always, I try to make relatable content, so this only going out to say I hope this video was helpful. I hope it encouraged you. I hope you learned something, and always know you're not alone. You are not alone. You got this. Many people have survived. I think that's one thing that I say a lot to motivate myself. I'm like, if all these people are doctors and they survived, and they all went through this, and they survive as well. So you will survive at the end of the day. Otherwise, if you reach this far, thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you. If you have not yet liked, kindly please pause and like the video. Please subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.